everybody. Welcome to Sundsvall that have been having all kinds of weather today. All squeezed into the little hours that we have been having during this day so far. I woke up to snow, it is sun now, we'll be having some rain. It's been a bit quite windy, grey also. All we're missing, I guess, is thunder, but it's the wrong season for that. But I guess, that hasn't stopped it anyway from having it. So any kind of weather today, and then it is a good idea to sit inside and do some responses. It was quite a while since I did a regular contest response. Of course, I did a response to Robert Z's lottery just recently, but a regular contest, I guess the lottery is a little more special. But I thought it was a good idea to jump on Happy Hippie the Vinyl Guy's March Madness contest, where he wants us to take a band and put it together with a solo album from one of the band's members. 5 albums give 1 entry, and 15 records gives 3 entries. So I thought to myself, why not? Let's have some fun and try 15 records. Or should I say 15 bands. Sorry, 15 bands. Let's get started. I try to avoid those most ordinary. I mean, Roxy Music, Brian Ferry. Everybody knows that. I guess everybody knows these also, but I don't need to have the absolute basic names. Commodores, Lionel Richie. Not all that unusual. But I hope it will be a pretty good mix of well-known and something that gives you an aha moment. No, aha is not here. So, even though I could have picked them also, I do have Morten Harket and aha, both albums from both. But we start with Midge Ure, which is of course connected to Ultravox. Pretty natural, easy start. Also natural start. Can't pick that much other members of this band for this. But both great albums, no doubt about it. We have also Wax, British great pop band, which is connected to Andrew Gold. This is All This and Heaven Too. And this of course came way before this one. But a solo album from a band in a pretty famous band. The next one, I could have picked, I could have had many alternatives here, but I picked this alternative when it comes to Fleetwood Mac. I could have picked Stevie Nicks, I could have picked Christine McVie, but I picked Mick Fleetwood and The Visitor. Really good album actually. Not as good as his albums with the band, but it's actually it sticks out, and it's actually a really exciting album. And we have of course Tusk, classic. Next band, not all that unusual either. Maybe it was too easy anyway. But Toto have been having a lot of members that have been doing some solo attempts through the years. But everybody, the normal question when I ask Toto is who is the best singer. I actually think that this is my favorite because he has the most normal voice, but he has the most fitting voice. Steve Lukather. and his solo album Lukather from 1989. We have Mike and the Mechanics, and Mike Rutherford had been releasing a solo album. I don't have it though, so I have to sell for Paul Carrack, who is the singer of Mike and the Mechanics here. Pretty really good radio pop, no doubt about it. We have the Bengals, my favorite girls, combined with my ultimate favorite girl in the band, Susanna Hoffs. Now I have shown the marvelous masterpiece When You're a Boy now, not pretty newly actually, so I thought it was a good idea to show the follow-up that came out in 1996, the self-titled. Also a great album. We have Chicago. Oh, everybody thinks Peter Cetera. No, Robert Lamb and Skinny Boy. I'm not going to say that this is as great as the Chicago album, but it's a good, really good album, definitely. Actually, really good album, but it's not Chicago, of course. Crusaders, really great soul, jazz, funk band, where it's one of the main members were Wilton Felder. This is where Inherit the Wind from 1980. Two really great and relaxing albums. And right now we're in a pretty big soul mood, so we're going to continue with soul for the past combos. Earth, Wind and Fire, and some of you may think then Philip Bailey. No, Maurice White, and a really great soul album, self-titled, from 1985. We have Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, amazing 70s band with a great album, Reaching for the World, and of course their Teddy Pendergrass vocals. And the final soul pick for the day, Shalamar. There also could have numerous choices. I could have picked Jody Watley, but I pick Howard Jewett. I think this guy. Howard Jewett's solo career wasn't as big as Jody Watley, but he had the best producers also, and it was really great soul albums, definitely. Can't compare with Shalamar because Shalamar was in a class of their own, but it's really good. Not as remember melodies though as Jody Watley, who became bigger and her melodies was a whole lot stronger, but really good actually. And here in Sweden this would be too obvious, but I guess it isn't that obvious for you outside Sweden. ABBA. Bjorn and Benny haven't done Benny have done some solos, instrumental solo albums, but I don't have those. But I could have picked two choices. Anne-Frid, Frida or Agneta. And I picked Agneta. This is her second solo album from, I think, 1969. She was very young here. I don't think she has turned 20 actually. So Agneta from ABBA and ABBA. And I always said that I think that the members in ABBA have done better things actually of their own than they actually have in ABBA. I do think ABBA have done some great songs, no doubt about it, but I'm no huge ABBA fan. But Agneta Fältskog's early 60s albums, and also those in the 80s, but especially those in the 60s, were real sweet and amazing songs. She sings in Swedish though. A little special, The Alarm. Real great band, rock band from Wales. One of the best rock bands in the 80s, in my opinion. Its vocalists were a man named Mike Peters, who released this solo album 1998, Rise. And this is also a real great album. Can't compare to Alarm's amazing one, but it is. You can hear that it is the singer of Alarm. Actually, it is real great indie rock style, in almost the same style as Alarm, but more of a 90s style. Let's take one easy for a change. I guess the other one had been easy, but pretty obvious. The Cars, and of course Rick Ocasek. And this Rick Ocasek album is a real great one, as is this Cars album also. And finally, we have the Go-Go's. Now it would be too obvious to have Belinda Carlisle, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. So we picked Jane Wiedlin instead. I think Jane Wiedlin's solo career was pretty much underrated. I think she was real great solo artist of her own. She didn't have the melodies as Belinda Carlisle had, of course, but still, I think she would be worth a whole much more recognizable career than she had actually. So this is a sadly forgotten album, Tangled, from 1990. So, I hope that you are satisfied, my dear Happy Hippie Vinyl Guy. And everybody else also. Very interesting to dig out these and try to figure out those who weren't all too easy and obvious. So, I hope that you and everybody else have a real nice time, no matter where you are, no matter what you do. Take care and so long.